Your vote on November 4th is not for Governor Newsom. It's to save the little bit of democracy that we have left. Now, I know many Californians may have that complicated relationship with Newsom, but this is not about him, okay? This is about being a voice for the voiceless. For those of you who want to know what's going on but don't really do politics, this video is for you. So what are you even voting for on November 4th? Let me tell you, you're voting for the Election Rigging Response Act. This is to counter Texas Republicans gerrymandering, and if you don't know what gerrymandering is, basically cheating. So why would they even need to cheat in the first place? Well, our midterm elections come up next year in November, but they know they're gonna lose. So they're rigging the system. We all vote yes on November 4th. California will be able to redraw its districting maps to get 5 more Democratic seats in the House, which is very important, you guys. This is Congress. Potentially, if we are able to take back control of the House, we're able to stop a lot of the ridiculous things that Donald Trump has been doing. But this cannot happen if we do not have more Democratic seats in the House. And we can make that happen. So if you're tired of your For You page being blown up with horrible news every single day, then you need to get out and vote on November 4th. Say yes to the Election Rigging Response Act, because fortunately, we need to fight fire with fire. I'll see y'all there.
Yeah, this is insane. A new poll has found that the overwhelming majority of Republicans said it would be fine if Donald Trump were to become a dictator. What? Like, seriously, the MAGA cult just doesn't care about our democracy at all. So, a new survey from the University of Massachusetts Amherst and YouGov found that 74% of Republican voters said it would be a good idea if Trump follows through on his remarks in which he said he would be a dictator only on the first day of his second term. And only 26% of Republicans said it would be a bad thing. And every other group of voters said it would be a bad idea. 65% of independents were against it, and 87% of Democrats said the same thing. But 74% of Republicans being okay with Donald Trump being a dictator. That's insane. Look, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or whatever. Any candidate who says that they want to be a dictator for any reason, for any amount of time, is absolutely unqualified to be president of the United States. Like, we have a democracy with checks and balances where we get to pick our leaders. We don't have kings. We don't have dictators in this country. Remember, we sort of fought a revolutionary war for that reason. And you know, the Constitution prevents things like this, but now the Republicans hear that Donald Trump says he wants to be a dictator, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, who cares? Give me a break. The Republican Party is not a serious group of people. They're not interested in solutions. They're interested in just worshiping Donald Trump. And you're seeing it right now.
Freedom Party my ass. Republicans are out here trying to make the president a king. While y'all are distracted, the House Rules Committee just rolled out another bill. This one is called the District of Columbia Judicial Nominations Reform Act. Sounds boring, right? Nah, this is another straight up power grab. So DC has this Judicial Nomination Commission. That's the body that helps designate judges for the city. Chief judges too. It's a commission. It means it's tied to the people. You know, the community. Republicans don't like that. They love complete and total control. Republicans want to terminate that commission altogether. They want to wipe it out and instead hand that power directly to the President of the United States. Because apparently the people who already live in DC don't deserve to be able to choose who their judges are. So let's connect some dots, y'all. This is about consolidating power, just one more step towards centralizing all of that power into the White House. And remember, the Republican Party is the same party that brands themselves as the party of liberty. Oh yeah, and freedom. Conservatives are about big government spending and deficit, and then controlling every aspect of your life, all the while saying you're free. And if you think this is just going to stop in DC, oh, DC is just a test kitchen for everything. The bill will be discussed on Monday, the 15th of September, in the Rules Committee. And if you don't like the idea of a president stacking judges like it's Uno cards, then you better call your elected officials now. Because this ain't liberty and it ain't freedom. This is monarchy adjacent nonsense. And if you sleep on it, they'll make sure you wake up in a country in which checks and balances have been evicted.
Alright, what this MAGA account posted with full confidence really shows that Trump loves the uneducated. Please check this out, because if I just told you what they said, you really wouldn't believe it. This is a real tweet by young conservatives saying, "Party like it's 1928. Republicans control Senate, House, majority of governors, Supreme Court pick, and the presidency. This hasn't happened since 1928. But I could have swore something happened the next year that we would remember in the United States for all of history. Oh, that's right. 1929 was the start of the Great Depression, of course. The year before the Great Depression, when Republicans had control, as that guy mentioned, they pushed corporate greed, deregulation, and short-term profits. And the result of their policies was the worst economic collapse the United States has ever seen. Banks failed, the stock market crashed, unemployment hit 25%. People lost their farms, their homes, and their savings. Does this sound familiar? And now in 2025, Republicans have full control, and we're seeing these same warning signs. Trump's tariffs are driving up the cost of goods across all sectors, inflation is destroying families, and unemployment is rising. And all of these corporate loopholes and tax cuts are allowing corporations to get richer while the rest of us continue to struggle. They're cutting social safety nets, our retirement, and our healthcare to give corporations massive tax cuts. All of these policies, of course, benefit the top 1% while hurting the rest of us. So yeah, you guys want to celebrate like it's 1928, go ahead and do that while you can, because history shows us exactly how this ends.
At the moment, what I'm watching is about the 2008 financial crisis, how it happened. I have to gain some information before making these videos. And when you see through the course of its history, Republicans have left our government in mess. Yes, they have left our government in mess. And since Democrats come to clean up the government, when we leave the government to a Republican president, they take the credit. Yes, Trump took a good government from Barack Obama and Joe Biden and took credit for it. True. Bush left a recession for Barack Obama. Imagine you are Barack Obama and you're coming to power and you are being given the 2008 government. That's what you are being handed over. Just imagine how hard it is for us. So at the moment, when these Republicans claim that they want Trump to become a dictator, don't look at Trump. Not look at Trump. He is old. He is retiring. Look at Project 2025. Their aim is to stack up our courts. Their aim is to stack up our Senate, to stack up our houses. And how do they intend to stack both houses? Gerrymandering, removing voters from the ballots, and segregation. One black voter, 3 black voters, or 2 Latino voters is equals to 1 white voter. That's what they want to do. Pay attention.
So let's just clarify. The President of the United States and MAGA Republicans and anybody on the right can say whatever they want about anybody with no retribution, no issues, no punishment. They have First Amendment rights. But anyone who does not share their belief system, anyone who wants to share their opinion on anything that is in disagreement with people on the right are to be punished and censored. They do not have First Amendment rights. What system are we living in right now? What do we have in America?
We are not going to have an election in 2028. Between this picture and that press conference where Trump made a joke about declaring war so that we wouldn't have to hold elections in 2028, I'm saying it right now. It's not happening. Donald Trump looked us dead in the eyes and said, 3.5 years from now, if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections, ha 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 ha. And some of y'all are still walking around with that fuck-ass flag like it even means anything anymore. He is literally selling Trump 2028 hats on his official website. He has an entire 2028 collection, mind you, that literally includes the slogan, "Rewrite the rules." He is building an entire brand around taking a shit on the Constitution. And before anyone wants to say, oh, he's joking, it's just a joke, wrong. You're wrong. It's a psychological play done intentionally to normalize the idea of him having a third term. There is no question that Trump is absolutely going to find a way out of conceding power in 2028. The only question we should be asking now is if we're going to let him.
Trump is doing everything in his power to bait black people, and it's only getting worse because black people aren't falling for anything at all right now. To the point where now you're just about to deploy the National Guard in Washington, D.C., where there's a high black population, especially a high black homeless population, because you want black people in the streets protesting so you can enact martial law. We all know it. We all know it. Because the thing is, when white people have been protesting, and all of these protests have been so civil, none of them have even been streamed on TV because they're not violent. They don't get violent with white people. But they have no problem getting violent with black people. And they know if they can get black people out to protest and to fight for our rights yet again, they can enact martial law and they can throw us all in jail if we ever think of rebelling. And I'm not living in a military city. No offense, but I don't respect any authority at all whatsoever. That's my issue. I'm also not afraid of cops. I'm not afraid of the military. I've had cops with guns in my faces. I've had cops with giant horses and guns in my faces while I protested before. I will have a traffic stop and there will be multiple cops that get out for me at a traffic stop. And I've never been scared of y'all, because the thing is, y'all get off on people being scared. That's the only way y'all can't get me. Like, none of you bitches scare me. Y'all are like my little brother with his toy gun. Like, oh my God, you're gonna get me. Like, quit playing with your food and just do what you want to do. But everybody else is just a chess piece. Everybody else is. The only group that he's actually after is black people. That's why he's deporting Latinos, because who's gonna work in the fields now? With black female unemployment rate reaching an all-time high. That's why he's cutting Medicaid. That's why you're trying to regulate food stamps. That's why you cut the weather service. That's why you cut the only accessible piece of media to every single child in the country, poor and rich. He literally said, he was like, they were on a farm and he was talking about farmer responsibility, as in people could live on these farms with these farmers and they could just build property on the land and people could live here and work on the fields. Does that not sound familiar? Make America Great Again is bringing back slavery, bringing back black people in shackles. That's all it is. That's literally everything. And I think he knows that black people aren't falling for it, which is why he's getting more intense and more aggressive with his tactics. Because black people aren't falling for anything right now. We're not protesting. We're not fighting. We're just minding our business. So, good luck.
At this point, I'm truly convinced that Republicans don't seek power because they actually want to do what's in the best interest of their constituents. They seek power simply to prevent those that want to do what's in the best interest of their constituents from being able to do that. They don't want people to do what's in the best interest of the constituents that they are supposed to be serving. I just saw that the mayor of Miami just out of the blue decided to postpone the elections that were supposed to occur this year and push them a year out, just so that he can hold on to power. This Republican mayor just decided that he was going to hold on to power for another year. This reminds me of fucking Mitch McConnell when he, out of the blue, when Barack Obama had the opportunity to put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court, Mitch McConnell said, no, I'm going to, out of the blue, decide that you, as the outgoing president, don't get to appoint a Supreme Court justice because this is an election year. That's just something I just pulled out of my fucking ass. Because I don't want this Democrat to put a Democrat Supreme Court justice or justice on the court. These Republicans are doing all kinds of just vigilante bullshit so that they can maintain power, not because they want to do what's in the best interest of their constituents and the American people, just so they can prevent someone from doing what's in the best interest of the American people. This shit is so fucking maddening. This is supposed to be the party of law and order. Every single fucking thing that they're doing goes against the law. They're just fucking doing whatever the fuck they want because there's no one holding them accountable. What the fuck is going on? I don't even fucking recognize this country anymore. This is so fucking frustrating. I'm so fucking pissed off that these people keep getting away with this fucking bullshit. What the fuck are we going to do? What are we going to fucking do?
So this is actually what dictatorship looks like. This looks like Putin's Russia, in fact. And guess who the puppet master is now of the President of the United States? So for all of you free speech people, the people who argued for years against cancel culture and for free speech, and of course the Second Amendment seems to go somehow hand in hand with that, they canceled Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel with, well, tens of millions of followers, a free voice in a country that says it's all about freedom of speech. I guess in a way it's not surprising, but it's utterly shocking. We've already seen the erosion of media for years and years and years under the Murdoch media in Australia and the UK and Fox News, of course, in the United States. You see that. And now this concentration of power and then the lackeys put in power, in positions of power by the president who can, in almost one movement, have people canceled. Now they're going after TikTok, by the way, because that'll be another thing. You know, I made a post about this Kirk the other day and that got pulled down. Interestingly enough, they cancel Kimmel in defense of someone who branded himself as a defender of the values of freedom of speech and, of course, guns and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's the same thing every time, but this is the genuine erosion of democracy. This is the rise, almost the completion of oligarchy in the United States. And you add that to the fact that now there's 2 Trump appointees on the Federal Reserve. So you're hitting at the fundamentals of the economy as well. If you have any respect for the people who fought in Normandy in 1944 fighting against fascism, then you should stand up and acknowledge this feels just like Germany in the 1930s.
You found them out, now vote them out. Missouri's Republicans are going into special session on September 3rd because Mike Kehoe finally called it. He's going to go ahead and rig our congressional seats so that they can have more Republican representation than they already do in the gerrymandered map that we have. There's about 40% of Missourians that regularly vote Democrat, and we have about a 25% representation in Congress. If we added a seat, we could have closer to that 40%. But instead, they're going to subtract a seat so that we have an even tinier share of representation in government. They're also going to try to weaken the initiative petition process because they don't like direct democracy. They like to undo everything we do via direct democracy. You found them out. Now vote them out. We are so done with them.
So I want everyone, if you're watching this video, tell me in the comments, the measures you are taking as a patriot, as an American, to defend democracy in our country. Yeah, tell me the measures. Tell me the measures. Because if we don't mobilize, if we don't attend those town halls, if we don't have these public discussions, if we don't mobilize our agents on the ground to ensure that more and more people are registering as Democrats, if we don't spread our policies, our manifestos, our agendas to the ground to our base and to recruit, we will have a hard time against the Republicans come in 2026 and in 2028. One of the reasons that Kamala Harris didn't succeed in 2024 was she was not able to rally her base. And if you can't rally your base, you can't recruit. That's fact. If you can't rally your base, you can't recruit. That's why you saw we lost some votes among Latino voters and among the black voters, men, mostly men. And mind you, Trump is looking forward to maintain these votes, not for himself, but for the Republican Party come primaries, come midterm elections, come these elections which happen midway, like the ones we have in November 4. He intends to maintain them. So at the moment, what we should focus on doing is rallying our base to a common cause. you know, because it's like we don't have a leader. Look at Hakim Jeffries. So Hakim Jeffries should start acting like the minority leader of the Democratic Party. Yes, he should act. He should act so. Look at Chuck Schumer bending at will for Donald Trump, instead of fighting back like people like our leaders like Cory Booker. We have to bring the fight to the Republicans' doorstep. We should be the ones knocking at the doors, not opening. We should be the one knocking those doors. We should rally our base to our common cause. So at the moment, we need a leader to rally us to our common cause. Then start recruiting. So I see people on my side, the Democrat side, accusing Trump of many things. No, that's not how it's done. To destroy Trump, let's paint him with either Project 2025 or the Epstein files. One thing only, not open many war fronts. One thing only, it's either economy, which is in plain sight, which he has failed terribly, Project 2025, or the Epstein files. Those are the points. But especially the economy. The economy is very bad under him. And that will destroy him in 2026 and in upcoming elections. Focus.